So the European Union tried to, through one of their councils, tried to vote. They wanted to pass a resolution to increase the amount of funding to Ukraine in their war against Russia. Of course, they make all these platitudes, these statements that they're trying to protect Ukrainian sovereignty. In reality, it's about trying to hurt Russia as much as possible. They can care less about Ukraine or the people of Ukraine. It's not about, and I've said this over and over again, it's not about any of the things that they said. It's not about democracy or freedom or anything like that. It's about grinding down Russia. That's all this is about. And Orban, to his credit, and he's done a lot of things that are, I guess you could say, anti-globalist, voted no. And they can't bring this resolution without him. They need to have all the members agree to this, and Orban's the one person that did not. So Hungary is a small country, relatively small country. It used to be occupied under the Soviet Union as one of the Warsaw Pact countries. And it is a member of NATO and the European Union. And Orban was elected because of the mess that Europe was in after the massive increase of migrants that have flooded Europe from the Middle East and Africa. So, people have, lashed out at this, and you could see this bits and pieces throughout Europe, like with Brexit, with Nigel Farage, gaining a lot of votes in the British Parliament, with Alternative for Deutschland getting in second place. And you could see the reactions to this. Al Georgescu was sidelined, and essentially it's a coup against the voters, in essence, under the guise of, again, supposedly, things like freedom and democracy, but in reality, these platitudes don't mean anything to these people. Germany is certainly not a free country if they're arresting people for quote unquote hate speech. You could take a look at what happened to Tommy Robinson. You could take a look at what's going on in France, where they don't seem to protect their citizens against the migrants and the molestation of women there, or in Germany, or in Sweden. So European countries have a lot on their plate. And what is needed is a better philosophy, to have better ideas so that we have better policies in Europe. They're certainly not thinking logically. They're not thinking long term. They're not thinking about this. It's just that you have globalism, and they're bringing in these tribal groups, which makes everybody else tribal in Europe, which is really a prelude to breaking down society. And they want to focus everybody's attention on Russia. I can tell you right now, Russia is not the problem. Russia has a lot of problems, but it is not the problem for Europe. The problem with Europe is the people who rule Europe. That, bar none, is the problem. I can go on and on about this, but so anyway, Orban voted no on sending more funds to Ukraine against the war against Russia. It's not about Ukraine. It's not about saving Ukraine. This is about grinding down Russia, because Russia is I guess you could say, is like an independent country, sort of like a remnant of an empire, I guess, is really what Russia is. But, and I'm not saying that Russia's the model society. However, in many ways, is actually better than what the European Union is. The United States just really abolish NATO and allow countries in Europe to act as independent countries. And that would, I think, really solve a lot of the mess that you see in Europe. So anyway, the article, I'll post a link to it.